Have you ever had one of those days, actually, maybe you've had more than one, where you have so many things to do and you end up doing like nothing? There's housework, there's emails, there's health goals, there's your business, there's all those sorts of things that you promise yourself you're going to get done, and your brain's running through all of them all at once, and all of a sudden the day's over, and instead of celebrating what you wanted to achieve, you've got a whole heap of shame and guilt about what you didn't actually do. So I want to challenge that idea of why aren't I consistent? Why aren't I motivated? Why can't I get things done? And I want to challenge that with, instead of having all of those words and the shame and the guilt that comes with it, to actually change that to what you're calling inconsistency, what you're calling lack of motivation, might actually be overwhelm. Because I know for me in particular, and I'm sure, like, let me know if, like, pop in the comments, yes, me, if this is you, where you have this start stop pattern, and every time you realize you've not completed something, you actually have this shame, this pattern of trying to do stuff and then it doesn't get done. So then you feel bad about it, which makes you not want to do it even more. Because I see this a lot in the overwhelmed women that I'm working with as clients, as the overwhelmed women I just talk with generally. We decide we're going to make a change. We decide that we're motivated. We get excited because we've got this, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm ready. Um, and and we go well for a little bit, then we stop. There is this pattern, um, that instead of asking what gets in the way of all of the pattern, like, why does a pattern happen, why do we keep doing it, instead of looking at, well, what got in the way, we don't ask that question. We ask more of the question of, well, actually, we don't even ask. We assign blame to, why can't I stick to anything? What is wrong with me? Because the shame and the guilt and the blame, even, that does not create any progress. It does not create motivation at all either. So, because motivation is not the missing piece. Um, we often think successful people are more motivated than us, or they have something more than us. But motivation isn't supposed to carry you through. Motivation um, is the tiny starting point. It's very easy to maintain motivation when we're excited, when things are going well, when we can see progress. That motivates us. But what happens when we're tired? What happens when we get sick? What happens when we've got so much other stuff that we become so overwhelmed? Uh, Competing priorities. I've got me, I've got my marriage, I've got my partnership, I've got my kids, I've got my grandkids, I've got work, I've got, oh my goodness, there's so many competing priorities. It's no wonder we get overwhelmed. And of course, the shame and the blame happen. So, and I can tell you is that when everything feels important, nothing gets done because there's no prioritization at all. And it does it. So, and the lack of prioritization means that we're going, oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So we might get started on a few things, but we never finish them because we've got too much stuff going on. So it sort of feels like we're freezing. Sometimes some people do freeze, they do absolutely nothing. But the women I'm speaking to, there's not a lot of freezing. They're not sitting there doing nothing. They're trying to do everything, and it's too much, and then they get sick a lot of the times. So there's lots of questions we ask ourselves when we're in overwhelm, and we're trying to work out, what should I do first? What matters most? How do I fix everything? So there's all these questions which lead us right down the end of the noisy part of the harmony scale. If you've had a look at my work about the harmony scale, we're down the noisy end. So I have a progress triangle which I've created, and what this helps us with is it shows us that progress is not a straight line. For starters, it is a triangle, and a triangle needs all three sides to stand up, otherwise it's a straight line. It's flat. So it has three sides, and the three sides are awareness. So you're asking yourself, what is actually happening right now? And you realize, hang on, you notice things. Oh, that pattern has come up. I've started something, I've stopped it again. And instead of getting all upset with ourselves, we go, oh, I've just noticed that. And we notice without judgment. We just go, oh, that's interesting. Oh, here I am again. No judgment, no blame, no shame allowed. The second part of the triangle is the understanding part. And this is where we want to ask ourselves, what is actually going on? What are some of the reasons? What is the why behind some of this stuff? Like the behaviors we're doing, what has caused that? It's not just you. There's obviously been an outside trigger, or something has happened for us to go, nah, nah, not doing it. And it may just be that there are too many things to do, and you've run out of energy. Um, that's the understanding. It's not, again, there is zero judgment, zero blame in this, because that's the noisy end. We want to sit closer to the music end and go, all right, what's going on? Let me see if I can make this work for me. Um, and then the third part of the triangle is aligned action. Not just action, because any action, if any action would do, you wouldn't be here. You would already be achieving all of your things and da 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 da. Aligned action, which means that you're choosing an action that works for you where you are currently and where you want to go. So it's aligned with where you are and where you want to go right now. Now, this can change over time. Obviously, the aligned action will change, but that's when we get that awareness of, oh, I need something new. We go to the awareness, we understand why we need something new. We put in a new action, which again is aligned with where we are right then. And it's not, the thing with the progress triangle, it is one step at a time. It's not change everything at once, because then you don't even know what's working and what's not. So what I want you to know is that progress really only happens when you've got those three sides all working together, and then it becomes a circle which flows. But you need to have the sides, and the triangle is the strongest shape. So you really want to have that shape so that you can create your own flow. So next time you hear yourself going, oh my God, I've done it again, I'd love you to go, oi, we're just going to notice this. We're not going to put any judgment on this. Then we're going to understand what's going on, and then I'm going to choose what the action is that works for me. So if you would like more of this stuff, come and ask me about the Reclaim method. I've got a beautiful program which helps women go from overwhelmed to actually living the life they want. And I do have some other bits and pieces as well. The Reclaim method is my baby. It's amazing. It gets fantastic results. But yeah, if you would like more info on that as well, just send me a message. It's as simple as that. No push, no obligation, just me helping you. Catches.